Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome back. Welcome to. My name is Joe Josh. I go by iChart Daily on this beautiful metaverse. Today is May 12th, 2025. In today's video, you better be ready. I always like to give back to the community. So I said, what coins or stocks should I chart? There is no limit. I don't know how long this is going to be, but I am going to go fast. I'm not going to double up. So if I see XRP and I see XRP, I'm not going to do it again. I have been doing technical analysis for about 17, 18 years. Learned it originally from my father, who was an options trader for almost 30 years. I've been in and trading crypto for about 11 years. I've experienced and traded multiple halvenings and cycles. I formed thick skin to the BS news. I trust charts over people. I was telling people to buy at 17, 15, 13. Over here, I was telling people to take profit at 53, 65, and 75. I was telling people to buy here at 76 to 82. Everything is on the internet with receipts. Cuzzy. So, let's start. We always start with Bitcoin. What are we looking for first? Always start with a monthly time frame. Why? Long-term trends will predict short-term outcomes. If you have room on the monthly, you have positive stuff happening on the weekly. If there's positive stuff happening on the weekly, you'll have positive stuff happening on the daily. So on and so on. It's a ripple effect. So monthly, in my last video, I said there's a couple things that are happening that are bullish, and we could have a couple of weeks of green momentum. Hence, last week and this week. First thing that I'm noticing is, one, we didn't death cross, great sign. Volume is coming up on the histogram, another great sign, right? You never want volume to continue coming down, showing you that this could be like a fake out type of situation. So for this month and the remaining, how many days? 19 days, we still look great, right? Next, RSI. Great sign. We've broken above the moving average, showing us that this is not resistance. Next resistance, though, is the 70 line. Do I think we break it? I do. The reason why is because there's room to grow until your next level. Your next level is from the 70 to, let's just say, the 74 right here. I was telling one of my good friends yesterday, who is now making money doing longs and shorts and futures, we do not get ahead of ourselves, right? Even though we're up 50, 60, 70% in just a week or so, if the chart starts showing me something of a reversal, we are out of the position. I just told the Discord, link is in the description. There's multiple take profit levels. Some traders use 6. I like to use 3. At that first take profit, I'm out 65, 75%, and then I'm leaving the remaining 30 to 25% for the greed levels, and then selling 50%, 50%. Not financial advice, it's just what I do. So what I'm trying to explain to you is there's a little bit more room to grow, showing me that we could have a small mini alt season on the horizon, right? So you can see I have my alert here on the monthly chart at 70.57, so that if we do break above, I want to be notified that we are in the box that we need to start, watching to see what's going on here, cuzzies. So, boom. Support resistance, as you can see. Do we have room to grow up? Yes. Let's go to the weekly chart. Sorry, let's go back to the monthly chart. Let's go here, delete. I could always redo everything. Your stochastic indicator is about to golden cross, actually does. Test and resistance number 1 is going to be your 50. So do we have room to grow from 30 to 50? Of course. If we break 50, that's when we officially break above, let's just say 110,000, and that's when we use the fib. We go high to low, and your next levels, like I said, we're probably going to be anywhere from like 115 to 120, and then after that about 125. I would say 130 to 135. Once again, everything happens in waves, right? So you're not going to see that on the daily, but you'll the monthly, but you'll see it on the daily, right? This is what I'm talking about, right? So wave, wave, wave. Where does this wave stop? Probably somewhere here. Now, what am I looking for a downtrend and a break of, let's just say 102,000? I will be watching the RSI to see if it breaks below the 70 line. I'm watching the stochastic to see if it breaks below the 80 line. I'm watching the money flow to see if it breaks below the 50. If we have a death cross on the daily, you can see it's not the end of the world, but we could have a nice consolidation. Like I said in my last video, what are we watching? Bitcoin's dominance. I said in the Discord, Bitcoin's dominance is taking a little bit of a poop, which is great, right? As long as Bitcoin stays flat or potentially goes up over the next couple of 1 to 2 weeks and Bitcoin's dominance comes down, your alts are going to fly. Hence, Tron. I mean, this chart looked absolutely amazing, but we'll get to it, right? So that's Bitcoin. We could have a little bit of a pullback on the short term, but the long term still looks great. What do I mean by that? The weekly, right? The weekly chart, just golden cross. We just broke into section A plus for the stochastic. Yes, you're going to have small pullbacks, but I do think we could potentially go flat for a little bit and then maybe even higher depending on what happens thereafter. Let's go to Ethereum. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these are going to be updates from the last video. Ethereum poo-pooed the bed over the last couple of months, right? So from December all the way till April, it went down 65%. Was everyone buying? Was it hitting when it was hitting certain support levels? Probably not, right? So now we're on the way up. I go to the weekly and I look for major levels where we saw resistance in the past. So you could see support, we ran up, you see liquidation here, right? We came down, we stopped, you could see liquidation here. So like that's why I said from the 22 to let's just say the 2500, that could be your first take profit, right? Where we broke through that. So now we're here. Now you want to see is there going to be like this sideways potentially find support at 24, 2286, and then you have your second run up, let's just say to 28.52. So that would be your next take profit here. If you break that, I always say in every video, what was support, if it's turned into resistance, back into support, back into resistance, this is going to be a key level, 29.18. So at that point, you're definitely going to want to reevaluate and see where your RSI is and where everything else is. Right now, I don't like to chase green candles, right? I was telling everyone to grab their Wavos, here and take profit here. Now that I'm seeing massive buying pressure here and we're here, it's like, your risk reward isn't the best. If you buy here, it's 10% up with a potential, let's just say, let's do it right. Here. Yeah, you're looking at like 12% to lose 7. To potentially lose 10, maybe even break even, right? 12 up, 12 down, not the best time. What are we looking for then, right? We're going to a daily chart and we're going to see exactly what I just told you. Is the RSI going to form? Well, you have to look at multiple, right? So we're looking at the 12-hour, the 6-hour, and the daily, right? Because right now we're still pointing up. Right now your RSI is still above the 70 line. Right now your stochastic indicator is still above the 80. We still remain in the most bullish point possible, but overbought, right? So if you are going to have a pump, you're looking for your 12-hour or your 6-hour to potentially do right here, right? You want to see is your 12-hour stochastic coming down, forming that bottom above the 80. And as soon as you have that golden cross, as long as you're above the moving average and you're still pointing up on the MACD, your structure here is probably going to be forming a bullish structure, right? So I would zoom into like the 6-hour, and I'd be looking for retests of the 25.99. Excuse me. Yeah, and your next take profit would be here. Once again, not the best scenario. I don't like it. I'm just giving you resistance levels that you're definitely going to see selling pressure next. There. Okay. 27.99 to 28.58. I don't like chasing green candles. I would not be opening a position here. My positions were opened up here when I told everyone literally a day or 2, 3 days ago in my Discord that I'm opening up $50 trades on everything with like a 7 to 10x leverage. A lot of these coins, what I'd be watching is the weekly. If I'm looking at the weekly and we already saw a golden cross and this and that, it's already happened. I want to give you an example. XRP looks different, right? This one's just about to golden cross, just broke above the moving average, just broke above the 20, is just about breaking the 50. XRP has a better opportunity than Ethereum right now. There's more room to grow, and that's funny that it's the next one on the list. So you can see here, these are trailing indicators, right? So yes, you're in the week of the golden cross, but it's already happening, right? You already missed out from $1.87. You already missed out from $2.11. You missed out at $2.30. It already happened, which is why you have to use multiple time frames, especially the 3-day, the 2-day, the 1-day, the 4-day. I'm constantly going up and down to see market structure, right? This officially broke out here at $2.08. Then I would go to the 4-day, then I'd go to see this one just golden cross again. Next candle came in, we went from 230 to 257. Now the weekly, I just told the Discord, I'm setting an alert here at the 260. My next take profits are going to be 274 and 295. Very simple. Link. Right? Market bottom indicator. This one's just another beautiful chart, right? You buy at support to take profit at resistance, right? You buy at support, take profit at resistance. You buy support, take profit at resistance. You buy at support. You also buy at support when your market bottom indicator is going off for weeks, right? The market bottom indicator turns the candles hollow when there's a decent amount or more volume than usual coming into the asset. It also turns them white when the same amount of volume is coming out of the asset, so it's a market top indicator. I use it more on a longer time frame. Like if I go to an hourly time frame and it's going off, it barely holds any value. On a weekly, a 2-week, a 3-week, a monthly, if that thing's going off, you have to understand that like it's literally calling a decent bottom. And now we're here, right? So the first thing you're looking at is, did we golden cross? Are we above? Are we above? Yeah, I mean, we went from even here to here. You're up 60% in 35 days. Not the best time to buy, right? You're chasing green candles. You're at major liquidity right now, right? So the first thing I look for is, once again, changes in market structure, right? Same thing I told you before. What was resistance turns back into support. That's a key level. So that shows me that we might have a hard time breaking 1841 to 1914. I would probably set an alert here because you can still see there's room to grow, right? But the most positive thing that could happen right now is a nice healthy consolidation out of a lot of these coins after they all pop off and they form higher lows to the macro low, right? But this macro low is $10 to $11. We go up, like I said, 70%, 60% in 30 days. If we come back down and form a higher low at your next liquidity zone here, once again, which was resistance and support multiple times of, let's just say, $13, that shows me that we have a ton of room to go back up, break the 1753 to 1850 level, and then retest these levels here of, let's just say, 21 bucks, and then these levels here of 26 bucks. So once again, as of now, not financial advice, I'm taking profit on the way up. I am not opening up long positions. They've already been open, cuzzy. So yes, take profit levels once again are going to be here. As you can see, you saw resistance in the past at this level here. You saw support. You saw resistance. You saw support. You're at that level. You're at that level again, right? So I like to find trends and bet with them. What are we watching? You zoom into a daily. If we see the price actions going flat, we see that the RSI is officially breaking below the 70 and breaking from section A plus to A. You have room to bleed back to the 50. MACD is above the histogram, right, the 0 line. So if it does death cross, you could go flat. But if you start seeing a break, the same thing I just told you, stochastic breaking below the 80, RSI breaking below the 70, your money flow breaking below the 50, you might be forming a short-term top, you know, like something like this, right? This can play out from January 18th all the way to January 30th. So this could play out for a week or two, allowing all the other coins to pump, right? And basically, this is a joke that I say with my friend, you know, people have to think that buying Link at $17 after a pump from 13 and a pump from 11 and a pump from 10 is a good price, right? People need to, the news, this is why the news messes with your emotions, right? Is it a good time to buy Bitcoin? It depends on what your answer is to the following question of how long are you looking to hold, right? If you're holding for 5, 10 years, and this is for like your kids, your grandkids, something like that, yeah, sure, zoom out, right? Here's the chart, Cuzzy, right? I mean, once again, from $3 to 116 in 12 years, it's a couple million%, right? You just want to be buying on the dips. Understand if you have a consistent buy, you're good to go. If you're looking to do a short-term flip, you know, I would wait for market structure to play out again, see if we're going to have a dip and blah, 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 blah. As of right now, you should have been bought here at 93, right? You should have bought here at 85, and you should have bought here at 75. As of right now, you're buying at the top again. I need to see more confirmation play out. ADA, right? I said this the other day. Yeah, I mean, this looked like an ascending triangle, right? Looked like an inverse head and shoulders, another bullish pattern, right? You had a low, lower low, higher low. You break into your upside. You saw a little bit of resistance here. Now your next liquidity zone is about 95 to 97 cents, right? So let's break this down here again, right? We go to a monthly chart. The only way that you could draw a trend line is if you could confluence it with a MACD. So trend lines going down, trend lines going down. MACD going flat, trend lines go flat, right? MACD golden cross, RSI above, trend lines go up. Right? 40, 22, 70, 30, $1.45, 51, right? Buy at support, take profit at resistance. This didn't come down to support. It's very bullish. Your RSI in a monthly did not break the 50, did not break the moving average. That was your confirmation right there, February 1st month. MACD did not death cross, going up. Beautiful thing. Your monthly stochastic is about to golden cross. We're at the 44. Once again, same lingo. 50 is going to be that first line in the sand. If it breaks to 50, God bless. We're hitting the moon, right? Hitting the moon meaning we're going back up to 94 cents, $1.10, and potentially, yeah, $1.21. What did I just say in the past couple of coins? What am I looking for? Market structure changes at prices that were support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, resistance. So $1.11 to, let's just say, $1.13. Probably going to be resistance. Just the psychological behind that is people bought here, waited for price to go up, can come down, didn't take profit here. And they were like, yeah, I'm cool right here. And then people bought here again, went down, came back up, and they were like, well, I don't give a rat's ass about ADA Cardano. So I'm going to take that same 1,000 that I put in here, and at least it's not a loss now. And then eventually some people bought here, thought it was going to go up, and it comes down. And now that it comes back, you're going to have some people saying, yeah, I need this money for house repairs, this and that. My daughter's getting married. Whatever the excuse is to sell your crypto, you're going to see some selling pressure. And then you need to see if you form the same high or a higher high, right? Multiple things could play out right now. First thing, you have room to grow. It looks great. I don't know if it breaks $1.13. That's my theory, though, right? I do see something like this. So if it were to come down, I don't think we break the 116 and 114. I think we come to like 109, right? Because we're making lower highs each time, right? So one, come down, boom, lower high, we come back up. This looks like a nice W pattern. W pattern usually play out, and you'll fill the other leg, bringing us up to a level of here. Boom. And you're looking at a, from here, first take profit's going to be here at 96 cents at 11%, and then I'm looking at a greed level of 22%. Understand that your last low, macro low, is 56 cents. So your risk reward is actually against you right now because you do have a lot of risk on the table. You have 21% even just to the micro, and then you're looking at a 11 to 24%. Next, Doge. Yeah, Doge I've been calling for so long, man. I mean, once again, when you have a golden cross on a weekly, when you have market structure change on an RSI, meaning like you were below for so long and then you break above with the golden cross, this opportunity only happens. I mean, look at this, right? April to September, you were just bleh, right? From December to April, we were just bleh, right? So now that the opportunity is here, this is why I tell people you always want to have cash on the side so that you have the opportunity to reap these rewards, right? I was telling one of my cousin-in-law, like, dude, you know, Doge, he was talking about buying Doge here. And I was like, I don't like what if you remember, this is December, January. What happened? Okay, let me teach you a lesson, folks. I really hope you understand this. Right here, the market went from September to December, January 2024, right? And even January 25. What was happening here? Trump, Elon. Everyone's like, bro, Elon's gonna pump Doge because he's in Doge. It's so crazy. And that's how people, I swear, this is how people justify their investments. Instead of like double clicking and being like, yeah, like MACD's coming down, RSI broke below the moving average, Stochastic broke the 80, money flow's about to break the 50. Like, you sure this is a good time to buy right now? Yeah, bro, Elon's in, and your investment went from 34 cents down to 13 cents. So once again, this is a perfect example of I trust charts over people, right? Was the news telling everyone to buy here at 14 cents? No, it's been quiet, bro. I literally just posted, right, that the news has been so quiet. And I've been telling my Discord to buy Doge since, I mean, literally here. Said market bottom indicator going off. MACD is about to golden cross. Right, the 3-day. We were all watching Bitcoin. Your RSI broke above, had confirmation, broke the 50 line, your stochastic bottomed on the 80. You know, I mean, once again, the stars were aligned. And now the Doge play, if anyone listened to me, even if you got in here, you're up 45% in 14 days with zero leverage, right? And if you use the right leverage, shout out to my boy Keith, anything, I told them, listen, liquidation price below 15.9. I mean, once again, you hear. So let's get back to the technical analysis. We have so much to do. So weekly, I'm looking for this price right here, cuzzy, 31 cents, right? 31 cents. You could see it was resistance in the past here, turned into support here. So 30 cents, that would be a cool 134%. If you got in here, that's 90%. That would be my first take profit level. Once again, it's just the start of the golden cross. Now, I wouldn't get too hype with this chart that I drew, even though it does work, right? Something like this. The reason why I'm not going to the top here is because this was a fake out and we came back into support to use what was support in the past, right? So this was support, we went to resistance, went to support, went to resistance, broke out, came back in and came back to support. Because of that, I'm not connecting this line here. You could, right? I would always recommend actually doing that as well, but we're on the way. I guess you could do that, right? Because that'll show you where your next greed level is, right? So I do think we come back up. We could go to this level here, let's just say 22 cents, 27 cents. Next level is going to be the wicks, and what was on the right. So this was, look at this, resistance turned into support, that 31, 32 cents. And then at that point, like I said, if it's extremely overbought, yeah, number one, be very transparent. I don't like it, right? Well, you should have been buying here from 16 cents to 13 cents. So once again, risk reward, just to throw it out there, from here to here, your first level, I mean, you're looking at here, right? So 20 something percent risk with a 12% return. I don't like it. I don't like the chase green candles. If you were to open a position, make sure your stop loss is below 22 cents. Liquidation price is below 22 cents. So if it pops up, now you're looking at a 7% risk with a 12% reward. If it breaks that and goes to these levels of the 30 to 31, you're looking at 30%. But I would be, once again, me, I'm in a Doge long. I'm taking profits on the way up, and then waiting for a nice little pullback. HBAR. I think I have HBAR in here. Same thing, right? HBAR monthly. HBAR came down. See, now this is bullish. When something uses what was resistance as support, it's a continuation to the upside. Yeah, all these coins, they look great, bro, for the next couple of weeks. What are we looking for on HBAR? We're looking for 1. We're looking for 2. Right, you have to play the double top on all of them. If we break it, you know, God bless. So once again, from here to here, you're looking at 18%, and you're looking at 47%. Got to play it safe, right? Because we have to understand your last macro low is 12 cents. So if you're using leverage and using liquidation, make sure your stop loss is below your most recent candle close here at the 19.8, and that would allow you to get the most out of your play here. But once again, that's going to be your first level. So 26 to 29 cents. Then we're looking for, excuse me, a higher low on the macro, right? So we did this. Can we scoot up to here? Possibly. And then I'd like to see us come back down to this level where we saw wicks in the past. And then that shows us if we could do something like that, right? Let's do Solana. Let's just do it this way. Nope, let's do Solana. There we go. Yeah, I mean, same thing, right? Same thing. Golden cross, break above the 50, break above the 50 here. I mean, this was your confirmation candle right here from 140 all the way to 177. Take profit levels. Okay, so your most recent high double topped here at 232. So that's going to be like my greed level there. Doing it live, baby. Yeah, okay, so 198 to 232. Keep like 10%. Let's say maybe here. Okay. So 198 to 246. Those are my two levels. I'd probably choose one more in the middle, because you were using this 223. You're using 223. So 198, 219, 246. Once again, is there room to grow? There is, but you know, it's the same lingo, okay? Your last macro low was 100 to 95, and we've been on a tear ever since, okay? The coin's up 68% in 42 days. I don't chase green candles. You should have opened up your long anywhere over here. But once again, you know, does it look good for the long term? Yes. So what does that mean? So because the weekly is pointing up and everything's pointing up, I'm expecting higher lows on the macro. Something like this, right? So you can see we went from 13 to 30. We came down to 18, but still higher low to 12. And you made a higher high, right? So that's what I'm expecting. But yeah, those are the levels. 198, 219, 246. Play it safe. right? Play it safe, because if you are in an uptrend, you're looking at something like that, right? And then a pull, right? Let's just say we go to the 197, a pull back to the 171, then a pop up to the 218. That's what I mean, waves, right? Algo, let's do this here. Algo, we spoke about play. The play is playing, cuzzy, right? So first take profit. I said this the other day. 28 cents to 30 cents. Keep it simple, right? Once again, I'm looking for changes in market structure previously on longer time frames, and it was, like I said, 28 to 31 cents. We came down to 9 cents, went back up to 29 to 31 cents, came down to 10 cents. We broke this level, went to 51 cents, come down. Now I'm expecting, once again, a higher low situation. So you're still looking at the play was playing over here. We're doing this 43%, 13% risk. Pat myself on the back for that one. So I'm expecting this out of algo, right? So we did this. We go here. We stop here, form a higher low somewhere here, and then we do something like this. Let's just say when? June, July. Keep saying June, July over and over and over. I don't know what happened today with Trump talking about China and the tariffs and all that nonsense, but once again, you know, June, July. Yeah, that's my algo. Once again, I'm not chasing green candles. I'm taking profit on the way up and then waiting for a pullback and then putting those profits back into the position because the trend still remains strong. XLM. Same thing. We came down, used what was resistance as support. Let's see. Yeah, I said the macro on XLM looks absolutely insane a very, very long time ago. We are forming these higher lows with the same high. This looks like XRP's price before XRP broke out. It looks like it's forming an ascending triangle that usually breaks to the upside. So once again, I'm a conservative trader. Even if I could go from here back to here and make even 29%, right? So let's do it right. So yes, your greed level for XLM is 54 to 65 cents, but there's going to be a level here that you're going to see resistance at, right there, 43 cents. And I'd probably use 39 to 43, right? So from the candles to the wicks, and this was the wick. So your first take profit from here, even if you were to buy here, you're looking at 12% to 29% and a greed level of 55%. Understand that there is a ton of risk just in case we do something like this. We do something like this, they form a double top and come back down to form a higher low at 14 cents. Calling it now. Mark this. We come back down, let's just say here. Do this. We do this. Where's June? Like that. I think we do this, and then if June, July does play out, then you're looking at something like that, 84 to potentially 93 cents. But, disclaimer, understand that if this goes up and stops by September, October, you have potential to do this. Okay? Huge buying opportunity. The reason why I say that is this play will eventually play out. I just don't know if, here, right? I don't know if we do this. I don't know if we do this. I don't know if we do this, right? But I do know that this will be broken eventually. Just want to play it out, and then your measured move is astronomical. Most traders will say you take this right here, but you know you go to the breakout, and XLM is looking at $11, which is insane. I would say you take the meat and potatoes, which is like this one, right? Be conservative, and your breakout's like here, and it takes it to like $4, like that. Long term though. HEX is a crazy animal. I haven't done any research on Richard Hart lately. But HEX, is there any other chart on HEX? Yeah, HEX is in a little bit of a pickle, I think, with its lawsuit and everything. I haven't done any research. If you have done research, do me a favor, leave it in the comment section. But I am curious to just see the indicators, right? So first things first, what are we looking for? We're looking for the RSI to be above the moving average, above the 50. Does it look like we have volume going the other way? We did just golden cross. Curious to see what the monthly looks like. Not the best scenario. We're breaking below the 50. Money flows below the 50. Your RSI is above the moving average, using it as support. You do have a ton of room to grow, but you're in section B, and entering section B and section B. So nothing good comes from section B. You can have a pump, but I do think we could have a dump thereafter. That's what that means, right? So to play this the right way, if you do go up, you got to play it right. What was support was turned into resistance, right? You can see here 0.005 was support, was resistance again over here too if you just drag it to the left, right? So this was resistance back in 2020, was kind of used as support, broke up, came down, used as support again, used as resistance. So I do think HEX potentially is forming a bottom. Where would I like to be accumulating more HEX? Not financial advice, but the purple. 0.0010 to 0.0014. Where do you want to be taking profit on HEX? When it hits this green line here of 265%. HEX is crazy, bro. These moves are just like, it doesn't look crazy, but that's like 353% in like 30 days. Wild. But then once again, you got to play it safe because, 97% 21 days is kind of wild as well. But you can see here, right, market bottom indicator going off between these levels. Eventually, this goes down, this goes flat, this goes up. Okay, that's just the way the market goes. When does that happen? I'd like to see the stochastic golden cross and break back above the 50. I would like to see the RSI stay above the moving average, but form higher highs. Right now it's doing this, right? You can see that. I'd like to see macro, higher lows, higher highs. So here, 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 right? Lining up here. Here, here. Then eventually breaking into the promised land, which is above section above the 50 line. So once again, I explain this all the time, but people don't listen. It's called the transfer of wealth. Profit from one will go to another when one's structure has now gone overbought and the other is not, right? We're going over a lot of coins. A lot of their weekly charts look identical, right? But just to give you an example, Tron looks a lot more bullish than other coins. Excuse me, I don't know what just happened. There we go. So Tron looks way better than HEX, right? Give me a second here. What I'm trying to say is the profit from Tron will then go to another coin whose weekly chart looks like it's about to pop. It's just that simple. Unfortunately, my internet is poo-pooing the bed. So we're just going to chill for the time being. And then that was HEX. HBAR, I did already. CRV. Alright, so let's draw some trend lines. So my I don't know if it's me or TradingView. I have no idea. VPN going cuzzy. Alright. Still don't understand, yeah. Let's reload it. Motherfucker's gonna make me want to smoke. Okay, come on, bro. I'm waiting 10 more seconds. If it doesn't load, then I'll continue the video and make another video. Alright, I love you guys. I'll be back. I don't know what's going on, but I will continue. I'll make another video. I'll upload this one, which is already 40 minutes, and I'll continue the rest as soon as my internet comes back up.